Hello everyone, my name is David, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can remove some data rows from your data. And usually this could be rows that contain some wrong values, so you're interested in removing them. So I am going to do that by using two methods. So I'm going to do it by using index labels. So by using index labels, I'm going to show you how you can remove only one row. And I'm also going to show you how you can remove multiple rows at a time. And as well, I'm going to use another method that is using conditional selection. So I'm going to show you how you can use conditional selection to again remove multiple rows. And I'm also going to show you how you can use a for loop to do the same, to remove multiple rows from your data. So I have my data in an Excel file. Let me show you this one. So as you can see, I have it in my Excel file, and the name of this file is data cleaning.xlsx, and my data is in the worksheet drop rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import this one. But before I do the importing, let me import pandas library. So I'll do import pandas as PD, and then I'll go ahead to import or to read our file. So I'm going to assign it to the data frame a variable df for my data frame. So I'll say df is equal to PD dot read. So our data is in an Excel file, that's why I'm writing a read Excel. And the name of the file, like we saw, it's data cleaning, and the file extension is .xlsx. And then the name of the worksheet, so say sheet name, is equal to drop row. So it's drop rows or something. So say drop rows. So let me verify. So this is drop rows. So if you do shift enter and see type df, we see that we have our data right here. So let's get into it. We'll start with the first one, removing data rows. Let's see how we can remove only one data row. So for instance, let's imagine I'm going to focus on this variable age. So by the way, this data is a data for women of reproductive age, that is from age 15 to age 49. So of course here, if you look at the data, you notice that there's some data value. Do df dot describe. Here you're going to get a summary of your data, and if you check in the age column, you see that the maximum age right here is 570 and the minimum is 23. So the minimum is okay, but the maximum is way above the age range you are looking for, because you're looking for only values between 15 and 49, but then we have up to 570. Obviously 570 could be a wrong value, because we don't expect to find someone with such kind of an age. The method that we're going to use to remove this is what is called the drop method. So what we'll do is we'll say df for our data frame dot drop. So in a case, for instance, that we want to remove this value, what we're going to do is, if you check this value, you see that it's on index 2. So when you're using the drop method, basically what we're going to use here, it's only the index. So df.drop, the index is 2, like we saw there. We are interested in removing this 350 because it's too big, so we want to drop it. So if we do shift enter, you see that we have successfully removed it. It's no longer there, that row is gone now. But then if you type df shift enter, you see that it's back there. it's almost like we didn't remove it. The reason is because we didn't include something very important here, and that is in place is equal to true. You need to include that. So once you include that, if you include that and type df, you see that in our data frame, finally we don't have the 2. So basically that's how we have used the index to remove one row, but at the same time we can also use the index to remove multiple rows. So for instance, like in this case, if for instance we want to remove this row 550, as you can see 550 is just too big for an edge. So if we want to remove this one, we want to remove 546, and then you want to remove 570. You can as well use the same method, the drop method. So you say again df.drop, and then since this time around we are dealing with more than one value, it means we're going to write in there, or say to pass the indexes for all these values. So we have like this one is at 7, this one is at 12, and then this one is at 17. So we are going to pass it in terms of an array or a list. So as you can see, so it's at 5, index 5, index 12, and index 17. So basically that's what we're going to do. So what we're saying is, we're saying that we are dropping all the rows that are at index 5, index 12, and index 17. So if we do that, shift enter, we'll see that the values that are at 7, okay, by the way we didn't include this, include 7. Looks like we didn't do it the right way. It's supposed to be 7 here, 12, 17. All right, so let's include this 7. So if we do that, and also by the way, 5 is not supposed to be included in our selection. So let's just remove the 5. So I have 7, 12, and 17. So if you do that, we see that index 7 is no longer there, 12 is no longer there, and 17 is no longer. So we have successfully removed the rows containing the values that we assume they are wrong. So we have successfully removed them. I hope that's a very easy process, right? I guess so. So let's go to the other method. So we can as well remove multiple rows of data by using conditional selection. What I'm going to do here in the first place, let me just copy the data that we started with, so that we should just start afresh. So I'll copy this data frame and I'll paste it here, shift enter. Okay, if I type the F, shift enter, we have our data fresh. All right, so I'd like to show you a method whereby you can remove all the values. You see, there are cases for instance, like in our data set here, we would like to have only values that are within 15 and 49. So we like to select each and every value that is beyond 49. We want to remove it. So how can we do that? Because if you look at data, you see that we have 350 here, we have 60, we have 55. All these values are beyond 49 because our interest is in having only data within the range of 15 to 49. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pass a condition where we're going to tell pandas that we want you to remove or to drop all the values that are above 49. Every value above 49, we want you to remove it. So how we are going to do it, there is a particular syntax that we're going to use to do that process. And the syntax goes like, first of all, you write the name of your data frame and dot drop, and then you write df like that, and you write that, and inside there you write your condition. Okay, so you write your condition, and after you write your condition, right here you write index. So I'm going to show you what it means by a condition here. So in a case, like for instance, in our case, let me comment that, shift enter. In our case, what we'd like to do is we'd like to remove all the values that are above 49 inside the age column. So we are going to type df.drop. Here we are simply following this syntax. df again. By the way, df could be anything. In a case where you were using data as your variable, you could use here, it means you could have data, but in our case we're using df as the name of our variable or as the name of our data frame. So you say df here, and the condition that we have is that we want to drop all values in the column age, all values that are greater than 49. Okay, so what we're saying here is that we're telling pandas to check all the indexes here. Okay, we'll be checking one by one. Check all the indexes here, and then if you find any row which has got a value greater than 49 in the column for age, we want you to drop it or to remove it. So if you do shift enter, you see that pandas has done that for us. If you check inside the age column, you see that all those values that are greater than 49 are not there. But again, if you type df data frame, you see that the values are back there, and the reason is the same. We need to include in place is equal to true. Okay, so if you type shift in df here, you see that we have successfully removed all those values that are above 49 from our data. And here, like we said, we are using what we're calling conditional selection. So we selected all those values on condition. I hope that process is easy, right? Well, you may go back and rewind the video and watch slowly how we came about. The most important thing here is for you to understand how we are doing it right here. All right, so lastly, I'm going to show you how you can do the same process to remove multiple values on condition, but now this time around you're going to use what we call a loop. So I'm going to start with a fresh data right here. So let me copy that. Right, so if we type df, we see that we have a fresh data set. So this loop, we're going to write it this way. By the way, probably if you find that you're not comfortable with loops, you can go back and watch videos and read about loops, how loops work. But this one, the one we're using is what we call a for loop. So here is how you write it. So you say for x in data frame dot index. What we're trying to say is here we are telling pandas that pandas, please go around and check each and every row. Okay, check the indexes 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then sorry, I wasn't meant to run that, but anyway, it's okay. So you say if df dot log x, I'll explain that. Okay, so we are saying after you check that, if you see that the column inside the column H, there is a value that is greater than 49. Okay, check, and if you see that inside the column H, there is a value that is greater than 49, I want you to do something. And what I want you to do is, I want you to remove the row containing that value. So we're going to say df dot drop x. We're saying that I want you to drop that value, or drop the row containing that value. So we're going to include in place is equal to true, so that whatever we come up with is going to stick in our original data set. So if we do shift enter and again type df, you see that finally we have removed all the values. We have removed all the rows that contain a value that is greater than 49 inside the H column. I hope that's easy, right? Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you share the videos, you like them, and also you comment. Thank you.